and today I'll be covering what would happen if Naruto was born into the Uchiha clan. And I just want to say this will be a Christmas special, however, I will be continuing the series, but all I just want to say before this video starts is Merry Christmas. Now, as I've covered this topic before, I will be skipping the backstory of his birth as a whole, with the only valuable information you need to know being that Minato was the Uchiha in his family, and upon his death, asked the third Hokage to take his eyes and, when Naruto was ready, to implant them into him. Naruto was 7 years old now, and he was a prodigy never seen before, but he was still seen as the worst in his class because of his poor chakra control and just in general him slacking off. His poor chakra crawl was caused by the Nine Tails that often interrupted his chakra flow because he wanted the Uchiha who he inhabited to have the worst possible life he could live, as Kurama had always despised the members of the Uchiha clan and being sealed into one it was just like salt in the wound. Each time Naruto went outside, he was mocked and even beaten by many, although most of the time he was ignored and stared at in disgust, with small hateful comments being left at him, at the small child. But he took this all into himself, never wanting to prove them right. He was no monster. He was just Naruto Uchiha. Nothing more, nothing less. Or was he? In the academy, Naruto never did any of his work and was looked upon like scum by everyone, even Iruka, but he didn't want to admit it. It was just that Iruka, no matter how much he tried to tell himself not to do so, always saw the boy as a monster who had killed his parents. Each time Naruto entered the academy, he instantly felt like leaving, as he was stared at and made fun of, as not only was he the village's quote-unquote demon child and an Uchiha, but he had no friends. The closest people to him in the academy were Shikamaru and Choji, although they were just neutral to him, even feeling bad for him, which is a rare thing to occur in the village. I'd estimate it to be around less than 1% of the entire village population. The hatred Naruto always received from the village made him push himself into further personal training, and made him stronger. Or so he thought. But once, when he was beaten once more by a Chunin level fighter, when he was still just 7 years old, he activated his Sharingan and beat the older man with ease. It was like nothing, really. This new dojo jutsu was an incredible power-up to him, but he didn't like using it at first, as he himself connected it to the beating he received. But over time, he began harsher self-training and read up on the Uchiha clan, finding out how truly powerful and prestigious this dojutsu could become. As Naruto aged, his power became immense. However, his usage of jutsu and his chakra control was severely lacking. He could only use the Sharingan for a very short amount of time, as his chakra control had him pour way too much chakra to his eyes, making his dojutsu a bit better, however sacrificing a lot of chakra in the process, and that all combined into him ending up failing the Genin exams, crushing all of Naruto's hopes. He wanted to become the Hokage, and the hatred of the Uchiha clan, and the hatred he got on the daily, but no matter how hard he tried, he always failed. He tried to impress the girls in his class with his Sharingan, but everyone was always all eyes on Sasuke. He tried to make friends with the boys in his class, but everyone either flat out told him no, spat on him, and if he could just said no, or just ignored him. Naruto's anger suddenly swelled up as he punched a tree near him, sending it flying into the air, never to be seen again. There was suddenly a hand on his shoulder. No, Naruto, you shouldn't go punching trees into the air like that, you know. It was Mizuki-sensei. He suddenly came to his senses as he apologized to Mizuki, but the latter just smiled at him and told him, "No worries, you're clearly frustrated after that whole ordeal, huh?" Naruto looked away, but Mizuki just patted him on the back. "That's completely normal. Anyone would be frustrated. But let me tell you something. Iruka only wants to make you stronger. For that, he needs to be very harsh on you." Naruto was about to interrupt Mizuki, but Mizuki just kept on talking. "But I'm a lot more lenient, you know. I know a way you can become a genin." Naruto's eyes began sparkling as he nodded, signaling him to continue, which Mizuki smirked evilly at, but quickly changed back to a normal expression before Naruto could realize anything had just changed. "There is this very secret scroll, the Scroll of Sealing, and if you learn just one jutsu from there, you'll automatically be promoted to Genin." Naruto's smile grew immensely as Mizuki gave him a thumbs up and told him the instructions on where the scroll was located at and when the best time to get it was. Naruto nodded vigorously, incredibly happy about this opportunity. Maybe he could still become the Hokage after all. Naruto almost couldn't wait to get the scroll, and arrived at the location, that being the Hokage's office, 3 hours early, so he had to wait outside. But as soon as it turned night, he sneaked his way in, not getting caught until... Naruto? What are you doing here? Naruto was shocked, but he quickly put his hands together in a specific hand sign and shouted, Sexy Jutsu! And was instantly transformed into a woman, having the Hokage fly away with blood shooting out of his nose. Naruto quickly transformed back, snickering to himself as he got out the scroll and ran into the forest. The Hokage, quickly waking up after only hitting his head after all, instantly called for all Chunin and Jonin in the village, and as they arrived outside the estate, he told them all about Naruto's stealing of the scroll and what they needed to find it immediately. Iruka was shocked. Had he been too rough with the young boy? He had been able to get over his hatred for the fox and finally saw Naruto as his younger brother, as he related to his lack of parental figures, alongside Naruto goofing off often to get the attention of everyone. But this was just too far. He had to find him. Back at Naruto's point of view, he opened the scroll in a not-so-shallow part of the forest, only to find that the first jutsu from the list was his worst enemy. A clone jutsu. But if this was to become a genin, he needed to do his best and pass the secret exam, as how else could he become the Hokage? A short amount of time passed until Iruka finally found Naruto, studying the scroll quite intensely. This is up now, Naruto. Iruka began walking toward him. Yeah, I know. I learned a jutsu from the scroll. Iruka was taken aback. How had he learned a jutsu in such short a time? That was of no matter, though. Naruto had severely broken the law. This was too far. Now Naruto was confused. What do you mean too far? I learned a jutsu from the scroll, so now I get to be a genin, right? Iruka was now the one with the confused stare. And who told you that? Mizuki-sensei, of course. And right as Naruto finished that sentence, a massive kunai suddenly pinned Iruka to small hut's walls. Huh? He looked up at the tree branches where a shadowy figure was standing upon. No, that was not just a figure. It was indeed Mizuki. Mizuki? What the hell are you doing here? Oh, shut up, Iruka. He sneered at the last word with a look of pure disgust on his face. I've come here to get my scroll. He amplified the my. Why the hell did you do this, Mizuki? Mizuki's look of loathing amplified as he responded, the village has always been undermining me. But now I have Orochimaru and he will bring me to heights, further heights, unknown to anyone here. And he threw a massive shuriken at Naruto, who was sitting on the ground in shock. Naruto, duck! Iruka was suddenly standing on top of Naruto, bleeding severely as he began tearfully apologizing for never having done anything for Naruto. However, Mizuki just shouted at him that he was the Nine-Tails boy, that Naruto shouldn't trust him, which is quite overwhelming for the young boy. Such a massive information in such a short amount of time. So he began running, but Iruka followed right behind him. Or did he? As suddenly Naruto let himself fall back right onto Iruka. They both fell to the ground, and Mizuki transformed back into the original state from his Iruka transformation. How did you know it was me? And Iruka transformed back as well. Because I am Iruka. Mizuki sneered again. Why are you even protecting this boy? He killed your parents. He's a monster that never should see the light of day again. But Iruka just smiled to the sky. He's not a monster. He is a young boy without parents who care for him and are done to often make mistakes. But above all of that, he is Naruto Uchiha of the Hidden Leaf. Mizuki just snorted, but behind the tree where Naruto was hiding, he began to sob, but he quickly wiped away his tears. As he saw Mizuki fling another massive shuriken at Iruka, who was about to accept death, as he had no way of dodging nor blocking this one, but the shuriken was intercepted by a kunai, as suddenly Naruto stood there. If you even lay another finger on Iruka-sensei, I'll kill you. His stare was deadly as he activated the Sharingan, turning them blood red with a single tomoe in each. And what are you gonna do? If I do, huh? Mizuki sneered at him, laughing at him even. But suddenly Naruto crossed his fingers, creating a massive amount of shadow clones, easily in the hundreds. Mizuki now stared around in awe but terror as he tried to shout at them to stop, but all of them ran toward him and began to beat him senselessly. Almost an hour of beating and some fireball jutsu later, Naruto walked back to Iruka, smiling a bit guiltily. I think I overdid it there, didn't I? Ryuka smiled at him. Naruto, close your eyes for me. Naruto complied as he felt a weight from his face be removed only to be replaced with another. You can open them again now. Iruka said, and as Naruto opened his eyes, he saw a smiling Iruka sensei, and looking up, he saw a smidge of the Konoha headband. I hereby promote you to the rank of Genin in the village hidden in the leaves, Naruto Uchiha. Naruto smiled wildly at Iruka as tears of joy began flooding from his eyes. Now how about we have a bowl of ramen together? Naruto nodded vigorously, and they went off to enjoy their night, with both of them having no clue of the giant adventure they had just set into motion. Now I hope you all enjoyed this part of the What If. If this video hits 25 likes, I will continue it with a part 2, and also a quick interruption. But do you like this art I'm showing on the screen right now? Yeah? Then go check out Viana, whose link you can find in the description at the very top alongside a pinned comment. He's incredibly low prices for such quality. But without any further ado, this was Tenitzu, and I am